Think about the NFL. They prepare a year for the Super Bowl. Then they get to the Super Bowl and they need an extra week to prepare, and the security and the teams and the stadium and the parking and that. These two teams, that game felt like not only was it great, it was odd because it was thrown together. The teams had to move. The security had to move. The broadcast networks had to move. The teams had to figure out where to stay. They hadn't booked rooms. And for those two teams, in all that mess, to come together last night and give us that tip of the cap to the Hunt family, Andy Reid and the Chiefs, tip of the cap to Les Snead, Stan Kroenke, the Rams organization, Sean McVay, that was unbelievable. I mean, good God, fans, security, hotels, teams, training, practices, networks. They got you know what that was last night? That was your wife coming to you and saying, you know that huge Thanksgiving party in 2 days on Thursday? Yeah. You know, like 45 cousins at your brother's house? Yeah. It's at our house. What? We don't have the space. It's at our house. We don't have the rooms. It's at our house. We don't have the food. It's at our house. What happened? Their dishwasher broke. Their kitchen got flooded. It's at our house. But what? And you turn to your wife and you say, order some champagne, honey. Let's just have a good time. Last night, that was just a good time. When you got to throw a party together and 90,000 people are going to be there, or however many were, and you don't have time to get out all the wrinkles, you just have a good time. It was what every great game is. There was some weird clock management by Sean McVay. What was he doing? A 28-second drive? Take a knee, bro. There was some officiating calls you didn't love. There was strange decisions by Patrick Mahomes late. There was stars making star plays. There was Tyreek Hill twice, a punt, a kickoff. What are you doing? What are you doing returning those? It was everything a great game is. It's never clean. Every great fight I've been to, every great NFL game I've been to, every great Final Four game, there's always a clock management issue. There's always a tip pass or a call you don't like. There's always a star being a star and a star doing a knucklehead thing. Calling the officiating, what about it? Kansas City wasn't ready to play in the first 8 minutes. They had a lot of penalties. That's not on the officials. What about the tip pass? What about it? They let the play go, then they reversed it. They got it right. What about the Rams offensive lineman that moved? Guess what? You have a fireworks show for 4 hours. Sometimes one of those fireworks goes off into the tree, starts a little fire. It's not perfect. Last night was not built to be perfect. It was your wife coming to you and saying, we got to host 48 people in your little 2,200 square foot house for a Thanksgiving party and not that much yard to play with. And you just turn to your wife and say, let's just have a good time. And the league just said, we're going to bring some refs in. We're going to do the best we can. We're not really prepared for it. The game was scheduled for Mexico City. Now it's in Los Angeles. L.A. is going through fires. I mean, what this city in L.A. is going through is remarkable that they could put it together. It was great. Well, what about the defense? What about it? There were 3 defensive touchdowns. The Rams created 5 turnovers from Kansas City's offense. Both quarterbacks took an absolute beating last night. I mean, there were some shots on those quarterbacks. I mean, folks, you keep telling me you love the NBA, but a third of the league's unwatchable and the regular season's irrelevant. We know who's going to be there in the end. You tell me you love baseball, but analytics are killing offense. That was 4 hours of fun. That was 4 hours of champagne. Yeah, some spilled on the carpet. Yeah, one of the cousins got a little too drunk. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Somebody may have stolen some silverware. It was not perfect. But that game was not built to be perfect. It was built to be fun, and it was, and it's remarkable. And Kansas City's owners and their GMs and their front office and their coaches, tip of the cap. And for the Rams, tip of the cap. That was a remarkable showcase. Man, listen, some things, you know, a wedding, you plan 6 months for a wedding, it should be mostly perfect. The picture should be perfect, and the flowers should be perfect. If you throw a wedding together in 3 days, guess what? The photographer's probably going to be drunk, and there are going to be fuzzy pictures. But just make it a good time. And you couldn't come away from that game, even in Kansas City, thinking, God, that was fun. That was just fun. First ever game, both teams over 50. Third most points in an NFL game. You had how many total yards? 14 combined touchdowns. I loved it.